guys, it's Cassie and I'm here today with a demo slash review on the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12 Hour Full Coverage Foundation. And you can pick this up at Ulta, Sephora, Tarte.com, QVC. There's a bunch of different places that sell this. And mine is in the shade Light Medium. And I read some reviews on this and it said that it ran pretty light. So people that were pretty fair skin were using the medium shade. So I got light to medium after reading some reviews, and I have to admit I'm very happy that I got that because it actually matches just perfect. So this is supposed to be their long wearing foundation, 12-hour foundation. I have worn it a few times. I'm just going to show you how I apply it and then kind of talk to you about how I feel about it. So basically I believe that all of Tarte products have no parabens or any of that stuff in it, so it's a pretty healthy or clean foundation. It is long wearing. It says it's oil free and waterproof. So basically what I do is I just shake it a little bit, and then the thing that I like to do with these types of creamy foundations is apply it to my finger and then dab it on my face and buff it in, rather than putting it on the back of my hand and swirling my brush in it. So the consistency is really creamy. I would say it's a little bit different than like my Laura Mercier foundation. It's a little bit more moussier than my Silk Cream foundation by Laura Mercier, but it's definitely a creamy foundation. And I will pin my bangs back. And I just kind of dot it all over my face. And I find that doing it this way is a lot better at not wasting any product rather than buffing it into the back of your hand and then applying it. And I actually did get the Tarte buffing foundation brush that goes with this. And I have to admit, out of all the brushes that I've used with it, this is definitely my favorite. It's just a very, very soft, dense, big, fluffy kabuki brush. So I dab it over my face and then I start to just buff it into the skin. And I like this better than my like Sigma kabuki brushes to do this. I just think that the size and the density of this just really provides a really nice airbrush finish. Makes it look very, very blended and natural looking. I don't find that it's a full coverage. I definitely think it's buildable because you can do a sheer application and your skin kind of still shows through. So that was a pretty light application of it. So you can still see I have a little bit of redness. So what I'll do is I'll just take a little bit more and kind of dab it on the areas that might need a little bit more coverage. I have like a blemish right there. And then you just buff it in. And I believe that this foundation is somewhere between $32 and $38. So it's a little bit more of a pricier foundation. I have worn this probably 7 or 8 times already. And I would have to admit it's probably one of my favorite of my long wearing foundations. I find that I don't have to really touch up throughout the day. I do set it with a powder, but I set all of my foundations with a powder. And I just think that it keeps me pretty matte throughout the day. I don't find that I get very shiny, and I only maybe have to touch up with powder once throughout the day. I don't find that it really breaks down throughout the day. I don't find that it looks like part of my skin has no makeup on it or it wears off. It really does wear for a long time and stays looking fresh on your skin. So if you can see here, it just has a really nice even coverage, and it's definitely one of those, I would say it's more maybe of a medium coverage. You can definitely build it up to be full coverage, but just doing kind of like a liberal application like I did, it really blends nicely into the skin. I don't find that it oxidizes throughout the day, so I don't feel like throughout the day my skin is turning orange versus my neck staying pretty white. Even though I do drag it down to my skin, for some reason foundations don't oxidize on my neck, but they do on my face. So I have been really, really happy with this foundation. It is, how much is in here? 1.7 fluid ounces, so it's quite a bit of product considering like most MAC foundations are only 1 fluid ounce and you pay, you know, 20 something dollars for them. This one's about 32, I think, and you get 1.7 fluid ounces, so almost twice the amount of product. And you really don't need much, and if you like a light coverage, you need even less. So I've been really, really happy with this. I highly recommend if you can pick it up with the brush as well, because I just find that the density and the shape of the brush just really helps to blend it in. I don't find, you know, it is a rather large brush compared to, like, here's my flat top kabuki, so it is rather large compared to that. But I don't, and here's the round top kabuki. So there's a big difference, but I think because it's so big and it's dense but it's still very fluffy, it just really helps to buff that into the skin and just helps it melt in. So I have really been loving it applying with this. I have really loved applying this foundation with this brush. So that's kind of a little demo so you can kind of see what it looks like on the skin and kind of my thoughts on it. I've been really happy with it and I would definitely recommend this. I have kind of dry to combination skin. My skin's usually pretty dry, but my T-zone gets very oily, and I find that, like I said before, you don't really have to touch up much with it, and it does last all day. So anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this quick little video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys!